And there's only one thing that worries me, and that is that we might already have the quote of the day, which is give nature a little love and nature will give everything back. So we're going to have to work hard to improve on that quote and on that obvious tweet at the hashtag #TheBridgeSummit16. But now we move from the general vision and the work that's been done and the water prize that's been given to concrete case studies, starting with how space technology solves water scarcity. We saw this water scarcity, we saw how it's been solved in several countries around the world. How can we use space technology? Tine Cato, who is managing business development at one of Sweden's fastest growing clean tech companies, Orbital Systems, and who is an expert on actually creating that very kind of bridges between clean tech in different countries and different sectors. Tina is going to give us an introduction to this theme. Give her a warm hand.
Thank you very much. Last year there was a huge fuss in the Danish media as we were preparing to send off the first ever Danish astronaut into space. His name is Andreas Mogensen, and he became instantly famous, at least in Denmark, an instant celebrity. The media was following him around everywhere for several weeks before, during, and after the takeoff. And when he came back safely to Mother Earth, a new expression had emerged in the Danish vocabulary. And that expression was to see things from an Andreas Mogensen perspective. So this was, of course, an expression that a lot of our politicians made good use of in heated political debates. Oh, we really need to see things from an Andreas Mogensen perspective. And sometimes this is really important when we're looking at how we can solve some of the challenges we're facing in this world. To zoom out a little bit and to look at things from a distance, to try to figure out how can we actually find innovative ways around the issues that we're facing. And this is a good illustration of how we can do this. In our company, we have developed a water and energy saving technology that started right here. This is at the NASA headquarters. In the corner here is the founder of Orbital Systems, Madhav Majubi. And he went over there as a part of a school collaboration project between the University of Lund and NASA. And what they did was they looked a little bit on how can we actually send a space capsule filled with people to Mars and back again, and how can we secure that we have enough resources for the people in there. So obviously you cannot bring 1,000 tons of water with you into space or a lot of food, but you can imagine that the food you consume and the beverages you can consume in just 3 years is a large amount. So they were looking at, okay, how can we actually make sure that we bring as little water as possible and we make good use of what we have. So what they did was to invent a technology where they purified everything that contained H2O in a space capsule. And that's everything from sweat to urine to condensed water. Just purify it and make it drinkable again for the astronauts out there. So that's how it all started. And when Madhav came back to Sweden, where he's from and where our company is based, he developed a little further on this technology and tried to figure out, can we actually use this in home products so that everyone can have good use of it. And the technology that we have developed in our company is actually, really is rocket science. It's space certified by NASA. And we've chosen to put it into the one domestic product that consumes the most water in our homes, and that is the shower. Right now, this is the product we have in different design variations, but you can, in reality, you can put the technology into all kinds of domestic products that consume water and energy. So what is so great about this technology? Well, for starters, it can save you a lot of water and a lot of energy. Up to 90% on water, up to 80% on energy. You'll have a cleaner water when it comes out from the purification process, and you'll also have a decreased comfort. Well, how can this be? So when you step into the shower, you do just like any other normal shower. You turn it on, it mixes the water in the base unit, and the system takes in 5 liters of water only. Then it reloops these 5 liters of water inside of the system and purifies it locally. This is part of the purification technology that we have a patent on. So we have 2 purification capsules in the base unit where all the technology is sealed. And one is the microfilter that takes all of the larger particles, hair and skin, stuff like that. Then we have a nanofilter that takes the very small particles and makes sure that there are no weird bacteria that enter into the water you get down in your head. So when you lift up the base unit, that is the very heart of the technology of our product, it looks a little bit like this. So it's not a regular shower, it's a very high-tech product. You can see that there is a lot of technology in there, and when you actually lift down the floor again and look at it from above, you can see that up in the left corner we have water quality sensors, and this is actually the first place the water goes. When it falls down to the base unit, it meets the sensors. The sensors figure out the conductivity of the water, and that's just a fancy way of saying they figure out if the water is too dirty to pass it through the system. If it is, it lets some of the water out. If it's not, it goes through this purification process through the 2 different filters, finally past a UV lamp. And then there's also an instant heater in the technology floor that makes sure to regulate the temperature in the shower. Finally, we have a shower pump that pumps up the water through the system and reloops it. And of course, as this is the shower of the future, we have quite a lot of software in this product, and you can basically program it to do just about anything. I think it cannot really make you pancakes yet, but you can program it for a lot of weird stuff. So what happens in reality is actually that you, when it takes in these 5 liters of water, it reloops 4 times a minute. So you actually have a water flow of 20 liters per minute. That's quite a lot in comparison to any other water-saving shower. In most sports facilities and bathing establishments around the world, you have maybe 7, 8, 9 liters of water in a water-saving shower. So it makes sure that you have a way higher comfort, but still you're saving quite a lot of water. And that is because it only lets out some of the water when you, for instance, you shampoo your hair. It lets some of this water out, then it takes a little bit in. But apart from that, it's the same 5 liters, give or take. Coming back to the clean water argument, the purification process makes sure that there is absolutely no Legionella in the water. It purifies it, so even if you would be unreasonable and put in some Legionella bacteria into the water, it actually makes sure that there is none when it comes out again. And this is something that is quite handy when we're talking to hospitals that are, of course, interested in the security of their patients. So in a normal shower, if you just go in and you shower for 10 minutes, you can easily consume around 150 liters of water. The good thing about this type of technology and this type of shower is that almost no matter how long you stand in there, the consumption is constant. We don't only use this product in hospitals where they care about bacteria or the lack of bacteria. We promote this product for everyone who cares about sustainability and who cares about a better environment. But of course, the largest incentive to buy the product is economic. So everywhere where they consume a lot of water, like in a bathing establishment, like Frederiksberg Svømmehal, they would be interested in a product like this. And the municipality of Frederiksberg, which is located in Greater Copenhagen, have actually decided to purchase 80 of the shower of the future. And based on the installations we already have, we have calculated that we can save them around 70% on their water bill. And this is something that is quite substantial in terms of money, and of course it's also better for the environment. And I asked my graphical designer to illustrate how cool this is, and she made these 3 thumbs up. So the facility manager Well, he's really happy because he can save around 1.5 million Danish kroner every year just on his water bill. The environment is also happier, and the guests in the bathing establishments are also very much happier because they can shower for as long as they want without feeling guilty. This is something that is especially important when we look at it from a broader perspective, because according to the latest UN reports, we are soon to be more than 9 billion people in this world. And the more people we become, the more water we'll consume, the more everything we'll consume in reality. So if we can do anything to push these type of products out there, so to decrease the water consumption, we should really do it. Especially when you're looking at a map of water risk, which is basically a common expression for the different factors that add to water stress. You can see that the dark red regions are the regions that are under the largest water stress. And so it's really good for us because we have a lot of markets for a product like this. But it also just means that there is a huge demand out there. And for instance, in California, which is also in a dark red zone, we have an office, and we know that there are some restrictions on how much water you can actually let through your tap or your shower in peak periods or when there's a drought. So there are very tough restrictions in all of these areas, and we will see more and more of these types of judicial restrictions on water consumption as more and more regions will experience higher water stress. Now, our product is, for now at least, only turned towards the domestic market and home products. It's showers right now, but it could also be washing machines and dishwashers, every product that consumes a lot of water and energy, basically. But it is worth mentioning, especially at a conference like this, that we use water primarily in these three areas. So in our homes, we use it way more than we think. We use it when we brush our teeth, when we wash our dishes, when we do our laundry, when we wash our hands, for hygiene, for making everyday actions just more easy. But we also use a lot of water in our industries and in our agriculture to grow food for the increasing amount of people on the planet. And I look very much forward to hearing more from the different speakers on this conference on different solutions to these other areas. And I really hope that I get some time to discuss with a lot of you how to develop on the innovations and on the solutions that we already have to address the two other areas that our products do not address currently. Thank you very much.
Wow, how inspiring is that, right? I used to live in Australia for many years, and we had a 7-year drought, and we used to just stand in a tub in the shower and then use it to clean the vegetables or the garden. It seems a little bit more efficient, I have to give you that. So here is definitely a good hand from me, from using rocket science instead of buckets to solve the world's climate problems. I think that's probably the right approach. So very fascinating. Thank you so much to Tine. Thank you for joining us, and I know that you'll be here a bit if people want to chat to you.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to.
Thank you very much.